This is for when the sun comes up and you open your eyes before your first cup of coffee. This is for when the 3 a.m. silence stops feeling like peace and starts feeling like an interrogation. For when you look around and see everyone else crossing the finish line while you're still stuck at the starting blocks. I need you to hear this right now. Because what God is about to reveal today is going to change the way you interpret every single thing that hasn't shown up yet. You made it here, not by accident. God was waiting for this exact moment. He waited for you, specifically you, to reach this exact breaking point. What He wants to reveal now is something that will shift your perspective on every year you've spent waiting. What was withheld from your life was never forgotten. It was cached. It was stored in a divine escrow. And there is a distinction there that is going to transform the way you wake up tomorrow morning. There is a checklist you carry around in your head. It's not written down, but you know it by heart. The list of the not yets, the promotion, the healing, the relationship, the financial breakthrough, the family restoration. Some days you manage to push it to the back of your mind, but it's always there. And the part that hurts isn't just the absence of the thing. It's the story you told yourself about why it's missing. You've started believing that maybe it's just not for you. That maybe you messed up the timeline. That others got theirs while you're still waiting, because there's something fundamentally broken about you. Your faith isn't strong enough. Your prayers aren't loud enough. You've never said those words out loud, but you've thought them. You've thought them during those sleepless nights when the silence amplifies every doubt. You've thought them in church when everyone around you is shouting about their season of harvest and you're just trying to keep your eyes dry. You've thought them during small talk where you force a smile and say, "Everything's great," while a hurricane of unanswered questions is screaming inside you. And the shame of even having those doubts weighs almost as much as the waiting itself. Shame for questioning. Shame for being tired of holding on. Shame for feeling a pang of envy when you should be feeling blessed for someone else's victory. You are here today because you survived that shame. Because you didn't quit even when every nerve in your body was screaming for you to walk away. That counts for more than you know. Your silent persistence has massive weight in the halls of heaven. Today, you're going to learn the Hebrew name for what is currently being held back in your life, and why that word changes everything about your waiting room. You're going to understand the 3 types of divine protection found in Scripture, and which one is active in your story right now. By the end of this, you're going to receive a declaration of positioning that will revolutionize your next prayer. Stay with me until the very end. What happens at the finish line is what closes the circle. This message is opening. Close your eyes for just a second. Take a deep breath. What I'm about to tell you won't land if your attention is divided. Here are 5 signs that you've been confusing a delay with forgotten. 5 signs that what was withheld isn't lost. It's in protective custody. Sign number 1. You received a clear promise, but nothing happened on your schedule. Maybe it was a word of faith, a deep spiritual gut feeling, or a dream that felt more like a revelation than a fantasy. Months passed, years maybe, and you started doubting where that promise even came from. Was that actually God, or did I just make that up? The wrong name you gave that feeling was delusion. The right name is custody. The promise wasn't canceled. It's being shielded until the recipient, you, is strong enough to carry the weight of it without breaking. Sign number 2. What you asked for arrived for everyone around you, but not for you. You watched your colleagues get the VP title. Your friends got married. Your acquaintances got their clean bill of health. And every time someone else won, it turned into a question about your own worth. Why not me? The wrong name you gave that was rejection. The right name is synchronization. God's timing doesn't use a Gregorian calendar. What arrived for them on their timeline is not the yardstick for what is coming for you on yours. Sign number 3. You lost something that looked like the finish line, but it turned out to be a false start. That door that swung open only to slam shut. That relationship that felt like the one right before it ended. That job you were certain was the answer to your prayers that fell through at the last minute. It was devastating, because when a door closes after you've already started imagining your life on the other side, the fall is deeper. You'd already told your family. You'd already made the plans. You'd already adjusted your expectations. And then it all crumbled. You were left holding the pieces, trying to figure out where you tripped. The wrong name you gave, that was failure. A sign that you weren't ready. The right name is protection. Divine intervention disguised as disappointment. Every almost is a sign that the real thing is being guarded. What arrived before the right time would have cost you something you couldn't afford to pay. An emotional price, a spiritual price, a relational debt that would only have become visible once it was too late to turn back. Sign number 4. You've been trained in ways that only make sense for what's coming next. You've developed skills that seem to have no current purpose. You've made random connections. You've walked through seasons of pain that forged something in you that you never asked for. The wrong name you gave, that was waste. The right name is formation. You are being reinforced so you can sustain what is being held in escrow. The preparation always precedes the payoff. Sign number 5. You are still here. After everything you've been through, after every reason you had to throw in the towel, you are still standing. The wrong name you gave, that was stubbornness. The right name is evidence. You wouldn't have survived the waiting room if there wasn't something specifically designed for you to receive. Your survival isn't a fluke. It's proof that whatever is being guarded has your name on the box. If you recognized yourself in at least 3 of those signs, I want you to type this in the comments. What is mine is in Safan. This declaration activates the shift from passive waiting to active custody. The casual observer interprets absence as a no. In the language of popular religion, if it hasn't happened, it wasn't God's will. But biblical Hebrew reveals a third category that doesn't exist in our modern grammar. Safan. Safan is the verb used when God stores something in a protected place. Not to keep it from you, but to keep it for you. To keep it safe until the exact moment when the version of you that exists can handle it without being crushed by it. The word you've used your whole life for what hasn't arrived is delay. But delay implies that something should have happened and didn't. It implies a glitch in the system. It implies that God forgot, or He's punishing you, or you just don't deserve it. And every time you use that word, you positioned yourself as a victim, as the forgotten one, as the unworthy one. Safan flips the script. Safan isn't withholding because of a shortage. It is intentional storage. What has been Safan Ed for you isn't lost in the divine mail system. It's in active custody. It is being protected from being delivered at the wrong time, to the wrong place, to a version of you that wasn't ready to carry the responsibility. The problem isn't a lack of merit. The problem is that you interpreted Safan as a rejection, and that misunderstanding created a mountain of unnecessary pain. It created a doubt about God's character that had zero basis in reality. What is in Safan isn't late. It's being preserved. Look at Joseph again, but through the lens of Safan. God didn't reveal the full scope of Joseph's purpose the day he had the dream. He revealed it the day he stood before Pharaoh. Between those 2 points were the pit, the slave market, and the prison. 13 years of Safan. 13 years where every single day seemed to confirm that his teenage dreams were just hallucinations. Imagine Joseph at the bottom of that pit. Do you think he was reciting his dreams while he heard his brother's footsteps fading away? Imagine him in Potiphar's house, doing everything right, only to be accused of everything wrong. Imagine him in the dungeon, interpreting dreams for others and watching them walk out to freedom while he stayed behind, forgotten. Every stage looked like a defeat. It looked like a no. It looked like evidence that God had changed his mind. It was Tzaphan. It was the tempering of the vessel and the protection of the purpose until the atmosphere was right. If Joseph had arrived in Egypt as the favorite son, spoiled by his father, without the scars of betrayal and the humility forged in a cell, he wouldn't have had the authority to rule. He wouldn't have had the emotional intelligence to forgive his brothers later. He wouldn't have had the internal grit to save entire nations from starvation. The Tzaphan was the method. The wait was the process. What looked like it was destroying Joseph was actually building the man Egypt needed. Think of a masterpiece that a curator takes off the gallery floor. Not because it's a bad painting, but because the climate in the room isn't right yet. It goes into a climate-controlled vault. It's protected. On the right day, in the right environment, it's revealed to an audience that can actually appreciate it. Taking it down wasn't a judgment. It was curation. When you understand Tzaphan, you understand that you are being kept safe while the environment is being prepared. Let me stop for one full minute. Tzaphan appears 29 times in the Hebrew Bible. It always refers to something kept intentionally, not something lost. The difference between waiting and Tzaphan isn't the amount of time. It's the interpretation. One transforms you, the other corrodes you. The moment you correctly name what you're going through is the moment that Tzaphan begins to move toward delivery. And here is who you are in the middle of all this. You aren't the forgotten one. You are the stored one. You aren't the rejected one. You are the vessel in formation. You aren't the one who's late. You are the scheduled recipient. When you carry the identity of Tzaphan, it changes how you move while you wait. Identity 1. The protected. You weren't forgotten. You were shielded. There is a massive shift in posture between someone waiting because they think they were skipped over and someone waiting because they know they are in protective custody. The protected moves with a quietness that confuses people because they know something the world doesn't. They know that what is being held back isn't being denied. It's being preserved. This identity gives you permission to rest without quitting. The protected doesn't kick down doors. They don't manipulate people. They don't manufacture fake breakthroughs out of anxiety. They wait with open hands because they know that whatever has their name on it will arrive the second the container is ready. Identity 2. The vessel under construction. Tzaphan isn't just about the thing that's coming. It's about what happens to you while the thing is tucked away. You are being shaped to sustain what is in custody. Every month of waiting wasn't a waste of time. It was an expansion of your capacity. You aren't the same person you were when you started this wait. You've been stretched. This identity gives you permission to value the process without romanticizing the pain. You don't have to pretend the wait doesn't hurt, but you understand that the pain has a function. It's expanding the room inside you to hold what's coming. Identity 3. The scheduled recipient. What's in Tzaphan has a delivery date. It's not random. It's not arbitrary. It is precise. And the fact that you are here today hearing this is part of the alignment for that moment. You didn't stumble onto this video. You were navigated to it. This identity gives you permission to trust the timing without being passive in the preparation. The scheduled recipient doesn't just sit on the couch with their arms crossed. They prepare while they wait. They do what they've been authorized to do, and they rest in what is still in Tzaphan. Write this in the comments. I am the scheduled recipient, and hit that subscribe button. The next video is part of this alignment. It reveals what happens when the Tzaphan reaches the delivery point, but the recipient isn't positioned to catch it. If you want to understand the specific blockages that can stop your Tzaphan from being delivered even when the time is right, my miracle journal is in the first pinned comment. Not now. Check it after you finish tonight's protocol. The Tzaphan Protocol. 3 steps for tonight. Step 1. Rename your weight. Take one thing from your internal list, the one that hurts the most, and rename it out loud. This isn't late. This is in Tzaphan. It is being protected for the right moment. Changing your vocabulary changes the emotional chemistry of the weight. Step 2. Cancel the old story. Say it. Lord, I cancel the interpretation of abandonment over my life. I recognize Safan. I'm not letting go of what is stored for me. This cancellation stops the leak of emotional energy you've been wasting on doubt and redirects it into preparation. Step 3. Rest in the position of the protected. Don't pray asking for more. Pray thanking Him that it's in custody. The difference in the quality of peace that follows is your sign. If you feel peace without resignation, you did it right. If you feel relief without surrender, you've entered the Safan. In the next 72 hours, 3 things are going to be thrown at you. Not as a possibility, but as a certainty. Tactic 1. The counter-evidence. A situation will arise that seems to confirm that what is in Safan will never be delivered. A bill, a piece of news, a conversation. The enemy's weapon here is circumstantial evidence presented as a final verdict. He'll take one isolated fact and try to turn it into a life sentence. Your response? Rename it out loud. This is a circumstance, not a verdict. What is in Safan doesn't depend on what I see today. Tactic 2. The comparison trap. Someone in your circle is going to receive something that was on your list. The enemy will use their win to try and reactivate the feeling of abandonment you just cancelled. The weapon here is someone else's joy turned into your comparative pain. Your response? Declare it. Someone else's victory is not the measure of my Safan. I celebrate them without comparing myself. Their timeline does not dictate mine. Tactic 3. The comfort of quitting. This will show up as a false peace. The feeling that maybe just giving up on what's in Safan would be easier than continuing to wait. The weapon here is relief at the cost of your identity. The enemy offers you rest in exchange for your destiny. Your response? Reaffirm. I will not trade what is guarded for the comfort of giving up. I will rest without quitting. And there is an internal enemy that's going to speak up in the coming days. The voice that says you're just using Safan as a spiritual excuse for being lazy. That your waiting has turned into passivity. That voice doesn't know the difference between rest and surrender. Between positioned waiting and inertia disguised as faith. The answer to that voice is a question. Am I doing what I'm authorized to do? Or am I trying to manufacture a fake delivery because I'm anxious? If the answer is the first one, you are in Safan. If it's the second, you need to run the protocol again. Close your eyes one more time. Deep breath. Hand on your heart. I'm going to lead you through a closing ritual. What is released here will stay with you for the next few days. This isn't a suggestion. It's a decree. Open your hands. Palms up. The position of letting go, not gripping. I let go of the story that I've been abandoned. Say it out loud. I let go. I let go of the shame of still being in the waiting room. Say it out loud. I let go. I let go of the comparison with those who got theirs first. Say it out loud. I let go. I let go of the fear that the right moment has already passed me by. Say it out loud. I let go. Now call in the 3 identities. Out loud. Don't rush. I am the protected. I am the vessel in formation. I am the scheduled recipient. Now, hear the voice of the Father. I saw the list you've been carrying, the list of everything that hasn't shown up. I saw the shame you felt for doubting my faithfulness. I saw you interpreting Safan as forgotten, and I saw you aching inside over something that was never true. I didn't forget. I stored it. And what I stored has a weight proportional to everything you've endured while you waited. You arrived here today because it was time to put a name to what was being protected. Now, receive the identity of the protected. You are not the same person you were when you woke up this morning. You have been renamed. You have been repositioned. And what was in Safan has already begun to move toward your front door. I cover your mind against the doubt that will try to sneak in over the next 72 hours. I cover your relationships against the poison of comparison. I cover your timing against the rush that tries to make you settle for a counterfeit. I cover what is in Safan against every spiritual thief trying to snatch it before the grand reveal. The triple seal. Repeat this with me 3 times. Committed, commissioned, sent. Committed, commissioned, sent. Don't say amen yet. Committed, commissioned, sent. Amen. Write it in the comments. What is mine is in Safan, and it will be delivered. Make it a declaration, not a request. There is someone in your life right now who is confusing Safan with abandonment. Send this to them. Don't post it in a group. Send it to them personally. Use their name because they need to rename their weight before the wrong interpretation destroys their identity. In the next video, I'm going to reveal what happens when the Safan reaches the delivery point and you aren't positioned to catch it. There is a narrow window. You need to know its name, because it doesn't matter if the vault is opened if you aren't there to sign for the package. It is done. What was delivered here has been delivered. You aren't the same person you were when this started. You've been renamed, and a renamed person prays differently.